Geno Auriemma calls them out, calls the team immature, and then there was some criticism of Paige Bueckers, actually.
Geno Auriemma is frustrated as Paige Bueckers and UConn's powerhouse performances continue to fly under the radar, despite Bueckers' remarkable talent and the program's storied legacy. The team's games struggle to capture the spotlight, leaving fans to wonder, why is this electrifying basketball force being overlooked? And is Bueckers truly the next Caitlin Clark, as many have claimed?
Now, I'm talking really, really small numbers. I'm talking 135 people in attendance. Yeah, you heard me right. 135 people in attendance to watch the number 11 team in the country face Utah State during the Daytona Beach Classic. What?
Geno Auriemma, the legendary head coach of UConn's women's basketball team, has long been a trailblazer in the sport, leading his teams to unmatched success throughout the years.
A corner crash box out, so I'm very picky with what I'm doing right now because I'm showing the younger guys what we're supposed to do here, and so I'm just trying to lead and be an example in that way.
Despite the undeniable talent on his current roster, led by the superstar Paige Bueckers, the Huskies recently played to a crowd of just 500 fans. This stark contrast has ignited a larger conversation about Bueckers' impact both on and off the court, especially when compared to Iowa's Caitlin Clark, who has captivated the women's basketball world.
Yesterday, in a game in the Bahamas, UConn played for 567 people. USC have had games at home in Los Angeles, in LA. They have had games with 3,000 of their 10,000-seater stadium. I've said this before. Caitlin Clark can go literally anywhere and she would fill it up. Like, if Caitlin Clark played a game in Ireland, let's say she went to the big arena in Belfast.
While Bueckers is unquestionably one of the most talented players in the game, her impact hasn't translated into the same level of widespread recognition or ticket sales as Clark's. Clark has become a household name, drawing large crowds wherever she plays and consistently delivering performances that go viral online.
I want y'all to tell me, what do y'all not like about Caitlin Clark? Is it the media coverage? Do you not like that she complains after foul call?
Since FAL, Clark's fiery passion, deep three-pointers, and commanding presence on the court have turned her into not just a basketball star, but a cultural icon. Bueckers, however, hasn't generated the same level of magnetic attraction, despite her exceptional talent. This gap doesn't diminish Bueckers' abilities. She's a phenomenal player who has led UConn with grace and skill.
If you're a college player and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's third or fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid.
Geno Auriemma, the legendary head coach of UConn's women's basketball team, has seen many high points in his storied career. However, despite his current roster brimming with talent, including the incredible Paige Bueckers, something seems to be missing. The Huskies recently played in front of only 500 fans, a stark contrast to the packed arenas that have become synonymous with other stars in the women's game. This situation has ignited a debate. Why isn't Bueckers drawing the same attention as Iowa's Caitlin Clark, whose presence alone is enough to sell out stadiums? Clark's meteoric rise has been a sight to behold. Known for her deep three-pointers, fiery passion, and an ability to electrify any game, Clark has turned Iowa's basketball matches into must-watch events. Every time she steps on the court, her performances are headline news, with fans packing the stands and arenas well in advance, eager to catch a glimpse of her incredible talent. Off the court, her charisma and confidence have made her a cultural icon, contributing to a new wave of excitement around women's basketball. In contrast, Bueckers, though equally talented, has a more subdued style of play. Her approach is methodical, focusing on basketball IQ, passing accuracy, and court vision. She's not the kind of player who will grab headlines with a flashy dunk or a viral moment. While her skill set is undeniable and she has led UConn with grace, it seems that her quieter demeanor hasn't generated the same level of viral excitement or crowd-filling buzz as Clark's. This disparity isn't a reflection of Bueckers' abilities. She's an outstanding player. But in the world of women's basketball, personality and storytelling have become just as important as talent. Clark has been able to harness her persona, making her the focal point of every game she plays, while Bueckers hasn't quite made the same off-court impact. Her games are often overshadowed by other stories, and the fans haven't responded with the same enthusiasm, as reflected in the low attendance numbers at UConn games. Despite this, Bueckers' ability to distribute the ball, make smart plays, and create opportunities for her teammates is something that should be celebrated. Yet, it's clear that her performances, though appreciated by basketball purists, haven't translated into the mass appeal that Clark enjoys. The question then isn't about Bueckers' talent. It's about how she can elevate her persona to match her skill and bring more fans into the stands. For Geno Auriemma, this situation is particularly frustrating. Auriemma has always led his teams to success, but he's facing a challenge of a different kind now. It's not just about coaching anymore. It's about finding a way to reignite the excitement that once surrounded UConn basketball. The Huskies' rich history and legacy of dominance now seem to be at odds with the relatively low attendance figures. Auriemma has voiced his concerns not just about the team's play, but about the overall lack of energy surrounding his program, especially considering the wealth of talent on the roster, including Bueckers. And yet, even with the challenges, Bueckers has time on her side. She still has another year of eligibility, and with a coach like Auriemma behind her, she's in the right environment to develop. The question isn't whether she can succeed, it's whether she can rise to the occasion and carve out her own path in a world that seems to be enamored with Clark's larger-than-life persona. Bueckers must find a way to balance her finesse with the explosive energy and media presence that fans crave. The rise of Caitlin Clark has set a new standard for women's basketball. Her ability to bring excitement to every game and generate widespread media coverage has made her a trailblazer in the sport. But for Bueckers and UConn, the journey ahead will require more than just great basketball. It will take creating moments that resonate with fans and proving that she, too, can be a game-changer in her own unique way. As the season unfolds, all eyes will be on how Bueckers and UConn respond to this challenge. Will they manage to reclaim their spot in the spotlight, or will the narrative continue to favor players like Caitlin Clark? Geno Auriemma's frustration is clear, but one thing is certain: he won't stop fighting for the recognition that his team deserves. In the ever-evolving landscape of women's basketball, however, that fight is becoming increasingly difficult.